Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the virtual mode of teaching. And dear students, we have been very much engaged in the teaching learning activity on this interface. I hope that everything is smoothly moving from the both sides. Sometimes we have some internet issue, so that is a part and parcel of the technology. Sometimes we used to explore the technology properly. Sometimes we may face problem. Okay. So dear students, we are just dealing with this unit regarding the inorganic chemistry 3 course, and that is the unit which is related to the polymeric aspect of different materials. So we have gone through the organic classification, how we can classify the different substance into different classes. Similarly, we have the inorganic material which also exist in polymeric forms. Okay. So sound is audible to all of you. Just raise your hands. My sound is audible to everyone. So we have been discussing inorganic polymers and their application, their preparatory methods, their structures. So we have gone through the inorganic component of various elements which used to form these polymers. Silicon element is one of the important element which can be explored for wide range of applications. Okay, so similarly today we are going to have another polymer which is of inorganic origin. So as you know that we have wide range of inorganic polymer which may be based on the silicon, boron, sulfur, or there are some coordination type of the polymeric species. So today we are going to have a look on the phosphorus based polymeric species which is prepared. These are the synthetic polymeric aspect of these important polymeric reactions where we can explore these molecules for wide range of applications. So I'm just looking into the different aspect. Just wait. So phosphorus, phosphorus-based polymer is a very important polymer. So these are known to be a phosphogenes. Okay, these are known to be a phosphogenes. These are the polyphosphogenes which is used to be explored at wide range of applications. Basically, these polymeric substances contain the alternate phosphorus nitrogen bonding. Okay, along with there are some substituted groups which is lying on these types of the atoms. Okay, so you will have the phosphorus nitrogen alternate arrangement of the bonds when we look into the phosphogenes. Okay, so this is not a polymeric substance which is only composed of phosphorus, but it will also have nitrogen component, and these bonding will be phosphorus nitrogen phosphorus. Like this you will have the bonding which you will find in these types of the molecules. Okay, so these structure may represented by certain specific formulas, just like NPR twice whole the N. N is the number of the chains you have the repeated units in the polymeric substance. Okay, so R may be any substituent group which may be alkyl, which may be phenyl, which may be halogen. Okay, so these substituent group can vary the property of the phosphogenes. Okay, so we have to have the application, but we can modify these polymeric substances as per our need. Okay, so this can be done by substituting the main phosphogene group by certain substituent group which may be coming as a alkyl, phenyl, halogen, or some other group. Okay, so it has its own impact on the property of the phosphogenes. Okay, so this is the basic component you can have. This is the basic structure. Okay, so and maybe of any number. Okay, which will determine the chain of that particular phosphogenes. Okay, so you can see that there will be existence of nitrogen and phosphorus bond. Oh, this is in the phosphazine compound. Okay, so this is a basic unit you will find. Okay, other substituent group and other group beyond this one can be exist. Okay, depending upon the stability of the molecule, which can be synthesized by a particular method. Okay, but this basic unit will always lie when we talk about the phosphagene. So each phosphagene molecules are macromolecule which contains nearly 15,000 or even more repeated units linked together end to end, giving it the molecular weight range around 2 millions to 10 million. So you can see the number vary and vary in a very large number. Okay, and it is going to have impact on the what, on the molecular weight of that particular polymer. Okay, so if you keep on increasing the value of n, that is repeated unit, so obviously its molecular weight is going to be increased. But when we look into the structural aspect of this molecule, okay, so the most common phosphagenes are the cyclic trimer. Okay, these are the most common uh, phosphagene along with the tetracyclic structured phosphagenes. Okay, so when you look into the phosphagene, you will have the existence of cyclic trimer and the tetracyclic type of the compounds which commonly exist, and you will find a derivative of these molecules when we look into the phosphagene category. But these are the most prominent type of the phosphagene we have, and we have been exploring, and having the basic unit which contain phosphorus double bond nitrogen bond. Okay, so this is the important aspect that you should remember, that these are the basic and the common type of the phosphagene molecules we are exploring. So here you can see there is a phosphorus nitrogen. So alternate uh, positioning of these phosphorus nitrogen atom is taking place either in the cyclic structure or maybe in a simple linked structure. You will have this type of linkage. So phosphorus has the substituent group which may be the chloride, which may be methoxy. Okay, which may be some ester or some amide may be there. Okay, depending upon the condition which can be standardized for the purpose of forming these molecules. Okay, so we used to have the general formula when we look into the issue when we have the tricyclic phosphate. So the number of the n may vary from 3 to 4. Okay, so out of these NpCl2 and NpCl2 hold the N as a 4 has been widely extended. So what I want to say from this slide, that we have the cyclic trimer and cyclic tetramer. So these compounds are most commonly exploited for various studies and various applications. Okay, so when you look into the synthetic component, how you can have these types of the phosphagene molecules which is used or explored for the purpose of a wide range of applications. So basically the phosphorus pentachloride is treated with either ammonia or ammonium chloride to form this type of the polymeric substance. Okay, so we will study this in the synthetic aspect also, but you should know that the basic reactant or the monomeric species which involves to form the cyclic structure includes the phosphorus pentachloride in the presence of ammonia to form the stable crystalline. So this is basically white crystalline solid. Okay, this is white crystalline solid in appearance, and which seems to be much stable. And because of the stability, it has been widely exploited for wide range of applications. So you can have the classification of these phosphagenes into different categories. So first is a polyphosphoNitrile chloride. Okay, because they are nitrile bond is exist. So this is a polyphosphonitrilyl chloride, where R is the chloride, means the substituent group is chloride. So this is very important. The another classification includes the polydimethoxy phosphogene. So when the name itself reflects that it has a substituent group, R is the methoxy. So two methoxy groups are present in the backbone of the phosphogene molecule. So we used to call it as a polydimethoxy phosphogene. So this is another class. Okay. Similarly, if the methoxy is replaced by ethoxy, then we have another class which is known to be a polydiethoxyphosphogene. So this is the another class of the molecule, that is a phosphogene. So these are the most prominent classes of the phosphogene, which has been widely exploited and studied for various structural studies and various applications. So this is not confined to these classes, but with the passage of time, because of the certain characteristics of this phosphogene, the substituent groups have been replaced and have been studied and find wide range of application in different industrial applications and certain medical applications. There are some other application in fuel technology also, in water purification. So there are wide range of the application which has been explored for this purpose. Okay. So you can have the classification. So when you look into the formation, which I have explained in the previous slide also, the phosphonitrile compound can be prepared by heating a mixture of the phosphorus pentachloride with a small excess of ammonium chloride in a chlorobenzene or tetrabenzene solvent. Okay, at the elevated temperature around 140 to 160 degrees Celsius. So you can have the preparation, but we prefer to use certain solvents, okay, organic solvent, where this product used to have better yield, okay, and this is carried out at a higher temperature around 140 to 160 degrees Celsius, okay. So lower temperature is not conducive for the reaction. You have to raise the temperature of the reaction mixture. Only then you can have the formation of this phosphogene compound with the elimination of HCl. Okay. So this is the basic reactant which involves in the formation of this compound. Okay. So we can have this compound where N, that is the repeated unit of this polymer, vary from 5 to 3 to 5 mostly, and we used to prepare a short range of linear phosphonitrile chloride from this synthesis. Means this method has been explored for the purpose of preparing the short-term polymeric species of phosphonitrile. You cannot have the larger component by this method because of the poor linkage, which may break down the extension of these molecules. Okay, the main product of the reactions which we have been doing now is the cyclic trimer or cyclic tetramer. Okay, and you will have certain linear polymer also formed during this reaction. So their formation take place in large amount of these uh, sublimation of the mixture, okay, as a trimer, and can undergo sublimation rather than the uh, means we have the sublimation of this comparatively faster as compared to the tetracyclic compound or the inorganic compound of this phosphogenes. Okay, because every method has certain advantages and certain disadvantages. Okay, so you have to have the limitations when we look into the synthetic aspect. In some cases you cannot have the battery. In some cases there may be some uh, standardization problem, requirement of the drastic conditions. Okay, So we prefer to use those methods where we require a lesser uh, amount of the cost, which will be uh, applicable because we have to produce such polymeric substances for wide range of commercial application. So you have to look into the cost aspect also. Okay, so that is why in the modern era we are looking for the cost effective technology. Okay, green technology where least pollutant is produced from the any industrial process. Okay, and least consumption of the solvent and some other additional material is required. So we prefer to use that type of the methodology. So when you have the once formation of the certain phosphoNitrile groups, it can be further reacted to form the different reaction when you have exposure of these phosphogene with certain other compounds. Okay, so we have the another reactions which can be of immense importance when we look into its chemical property. Okay, so these phosphonitrile or phosphogene compounds in the presence of the chloride used to form this chlorinated uh, polymeric species with the elimination of certain uh, side products. Okay, so this is the basic reaction you will have. This is your phosphogene which is reacting with the chlorine gas to form a chlorinated phosphogene species. So here the substitution is taking place in the macro inorganic moiety and replacing one of its atom through the formation of this chloride. Okay. Similarly, you can have formation of chlorofluoropolymer. Okay. So this is your basic phosphogene. You are reacting with the lead fluoride. Okay, and there is a formation of once you have this one. So this can be further modified to obtain the chlorofluoropolymeric species. Okay, so you can have this type of the situation that you can derivatize this phosphogene into different fluorides, fluorochlor compounds. Okay, and can be applied for wide range of applications. Similarly, you can have the reaction you can see from here. This is the another reaction by which you can have the phosphogene which contain the chlorine also with the reaction of sulfur nitrile compound along with the reaction with the phosphorus trichloride. So ultimately you can have this also by certain other route. Okay, so we can have the reactivity in the presence of certain reagent, but these are the some of the listed. Okay, so when you look into the other aspect of the molecule. Okay, whenever we look into the synthetic aspect, our basic purpose to develop the innovative materials. Okay, so why we are going to have this discussion in the virtual session, why it is in your syllabus? The reason is very simple, because this material has been explored for a wide range of applications. So we have to have a knowledge about the structural aspect, the synthetic aspect of these molecules. Okay, and these polymeric substances. So just like your silicons or silicates, these molecules are the macromolecules and have wide range of applications. Okay, so phosphogene polymer constitute a family. Basically, you have seen greatly of the diverse performing material, which will be discussed in the coming slides. Okay, so these polymeric substances possess a backbone which contain alternate nitrogen and phosphorus atom. So this is very important. To the basic backbone, polymer has a variety of the substituent groups that can be added that control the physical property of the final product. Okay, so we have seen that we have the phosphorus nitrogen bond. Okay, and these bonds have certain substituent groups. Okay, so these substituent group can be replaced. Okay, Once you are targeting these subsequent group, ultimately the modification of the property will take place. Okay, so if you have the idea about the parent characteristic of the phosphogene molecule and the subsequent group which is going to replace the already existing subsequent group, then you can formulate the product which will have a property as per your desire in which you are interested. Okay, so that is a very important aspect. So although the substrate groups are the main influence on the polymeric property, phosphogene polymer can provide following characteristics. Okay, so although you can have the influence of the substituent group, but some of the property which seems to be adhered to this special material. Okay, listed properties. The first property you can see, this is a biocompatible, flexible, high dielectrical or high dipole moment containing substance, broad range of the glass transition temperature, means you have the broader range where you can apply this substance. The chemical inertness, okay, the second and third one is the chemical inertness. So these are not easily show reactivity with the reagent, but they are seems to be inert. Okay, because of the nitrogen and phosphorus double bond nature. So these exhibit mechanical strength. They are exhibiting the solvent permeability or impermeability elastomic. Okay, so these are exhibiting certain aspect of the solvent permeability which can be explored for certain applications. So they are impermeability, elastomeric property, and flame retardants, means they are not going to catch the fire easily. Okay, so these property can be studied, and these are adhered with these this type of the smart material, that is a phosphor gene. Okay, because of the endless number of the permutation of the substituent group that can be attached to the basic backbone of the polymer, the polyphosphagenes can be customized to suit any client's performance polymer needs. So this means if you have the substitution, you can modify as per the need of the application. You can have the substituent group. Okay, so this is very important, because people used to explore the substituent group and try to modify this polyphosphogene molecule into different for the different applications. Okay, so when you look into the aspect of different application, before that I would like to launch one pool question. Contain what type of the, just wait, there is some issue. So I'm talking about the phosphogene and what may be the most basic structure. So this is the one full question. So respond to the given pool question. because so far we have gone through the different type of inorganic polymers. You can see that the backbone play a very crucial role. Okay, although we can modify the property by substitution reaction. Okay, but basic property because of the backbone is adhere with such type of inorganic polymers. Okay, the modification can be take place. It can change the property up to certain extent, but the basic units has its own property because of the backbone, because of the certain bonds which is attached and having some specific structural aspect. So still 29 students are not responding to the given pool question. Okay, I think the students are somewhere else. Okay, so this is very simple question. So you can respond in the given pool box. So correct answer is the first option, because we have the phosphagene which contain the phosphorus nitrogen alternately, and the bond between these two components is double. So it is a double bond which exists, and these atoms are arranged in an alternate fashion. So I'm going to close the pool question. So looking to the application, we can have the substrate group which can alter the property of the phosphagenes. So we have a wide range of application which is because of certain aspect of the backbone. Okay, so you can have the application in fuel cell. Okay, so fuel cell basically is a device that produces electricity by effective electrochemical conversion of fuel. Okay, so we can have the application. The polyphosphagene is currently the highest performing membrane material for methanol based proton exchange membranes in the fuel cell. So you can see that this is a high performance material. It is used as a high performance material in fuel technology, where we have to have the requirement of certain membrane. So this is a membrane material for the ethanol based proton exchange cell. Okay, so this is one application you can have in the fuel technology. Okay, so this is one application. Similarly, the substance is widely explored in the field of medical science. Okay, so medical science, you know that we require certain material that seems to be inert. It should not decompose. It should not have reactivity. Okay, so the type of the basic requirement is required, whatever the item or the substance we prefer to use in the medical science. Okay, so polyphosphagene makes an ideal medical polymer because of its biocompatibility, capability for integrate the customization. Okay, and high affinity for water, and the ability to accept graph of influence substituent. Okay, so you can have the application which compel this material to be used in medical science, because we require the material that should be very good biocompatible. Okay, and secondly it should be having higher affinity for water. This is one other reason, and the ability to accept the graft of the influencing subsequent group. So these are the certain aspects that should be looked into the material before applying any material for the medical applications. Okay, so we have a wide range of application which can be explored for this purpose. Okay, You can have the application which includes for the purpose of delivering the drug, that is a in drug delivery technology. You can have the application of the polyphosphagene. Similarly in biological membranes, okay, and coatings and polymeric medical devices and component such as implants. Okay, whatever you have to have certain biocompatibility which will compel the material to be used at various sectors in the medical science. It may be surgery, it may be implanting of certain device within your body. So it is only possible for the material which should be a biocompatible. So just like your silicons, this also has a similar type of the property, that it also exhibit a biocompatibility behavior, which increases its spectra of application. Okay, so drug delivery system utilize polyphosphogene ability to accept the graft of active component to create a carrier molecule for the pharmaceutical industry. Means when we look into the drug delivery technology, okay, so it is used as a carrier molecule, okay, for the API. API means active pharmaceutical ingredient. The gradient which is responsible for actual physiological action on the certain disease, on certain organism. So basically whatever we are using as a medicine, that medicine is not totally contain API, but it is a form of the uh, solution which known to be a formulation. Formulation may be liquid formulation, it may be solid formulation. So, in a formulation, you have the API, active pharmaceutical ingredient, along with the carrier and adhesive molecules, which used to retain its property or used to add it to the formulation to increase the efficacy of the particular API. Okay, so whatever we are consuming, that will contain definitely API, but in addition to API, there are certain other molecules which is a part of that formulation. So here in drug delivery, we are exploring this polyphosphogene as a carrier molecule. Okay, so carrier molecule means it will have the API. This is active pharmaceutical ingredient, and this is a membrane or polymeric substance which is made up of a polyphosphogene. Okay, so this is acting as a carrier for this API. So we have wide range of organic polymeric substances which is explored for the purpose of the carrier molecules for the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, but it is comparatively less in case of the inorganic chemistry. Okay, we have the lesser inorganic polymers which exhibit this type of the tendency. In addition, a subsequent group which used to have on these polymeric backbone capable of influencing the behavior of the chain can be added, enabling the rate of release to be a function of the polymeric characteristics and the subsequent ratio. Means you can modify the subsequent and you can vary the rate of delivery of such API through the carrier molecules if you modify the subsequent group present on these backbones. So phosphogene are also used as a surface coating and composite material. Okay, so it is not confined that you have the application as a drug delivery carrier molecule. It can be used as a surface coating and composite material. Okay, we can have different composite which can be prepared by exploring this phosphogene polymeric species. Okay, similarly you can have the surface coating from different for the different formulations. You can have the tablet, you can have some other issues surface has to be coated with certain inert materials. There we can apply this phosphogen polymeric substance. Okay, so this is used as a high performance material. The polyphosphagens are used in flame retardant. It is used as a flame retardant, additive performance polymer, and in specialty applications, you can have a such type of the high performance material. The exception performance of the polyphosphagen derivatives under extreme temperature conditions, their inertness to the chemical environment, and their non-flammability make them a primary material for the application in even the hostile environment also. Okay, so because it try to retain its property even in the drastic condition, in the extreme temperature condition, and it remain as a inert and not used to catch the fire in the working condition, under the working condition. So this material is the material of choice for the extreme conditions, hostile conditions also. Okay, so you can think of its application in various hostile environment where other substance otherwise break down its property. Okay, so membrane, some sort of the discussion we have took all in the last slides regarding the membranes. So membrane, the polyphosphagens are being used to make membranes, and these membranes are more thermally, mechanically, and chemically stable. Okay, as well as they can enhance the selectivity and the overall performances. So you can have a membrane from wide range of materials, chemicals, but when we look into the polyphosphagen membranes, so these membranes are mechanically stable, thermally stable, and chemically stable. Okay, so this is the basic property or the characteristics of such types of the molecule, that they are thermally stable, mechanically stable, okay, and chemically stable. It means whatever there is a change in the working condition of the membrane, it can resist the change. Okay, and it will enhance the selectivity and overall performance. Okay, so they are mainly used in, so you can see where you can have the application of such membranes. So they are mainly used in electrodialysis, microfiltration, ultrafiltration, and reverse osmosis applications. Okay, so these are the some of the application you can have when you have the polyphosphagen as a molecule and you are preparing the uh, membrane, and this membrane find a wide range of applications in the electrodialysis, in microfiltration, ultrafiltration, and also in reverse osmosis applications. Okay, so the phosphogen membranes have shown the intense or immense potential in the water purification technology, fuel gas technology, air enrichment, sorrow gas purification, and also in the separation of the alcohol and various organic compounds and ions. So I have listed that how these molecules used to have its impact. So this impact can be seen from the phosphogen membrane. When we have this membrane, you can have a wide range of application because of its potential to be explored for the purification purpose. Just like you have the water purification, you have the fuel gas, gas technology, air enrichment, and sorrow gas purification and separation of mixture of organic compound, just like alcohol, from various other organic component and ions. So you can have wide range of such application in the different domains of the uh, phosphagen. So what I want to say, the phosphagen is a very important compound because of its inertness, because of its thermal stable structure, we can have the application in different sectors. Okay, so I'm just launching one pool question. So we have wide range of applications which can be explored, and some of the, so you can just think of the different aspect. So in drug delivery system means drug has to be delivered at a specific site through certain specific molecules, carrier molecules, which is made up of certain material, and these materials should have some specific characteristics. Okay, because you cannot penetrate or you cannot have anything which seems to be non-compatible with the body. It has to be have some property which will compel these molecule to be used in certain applications. And that is the biocompatibility of the molecule is very important. Okay. Secondly, the another component is the its ability to deliver the drug at the specific site. Okay, it is not only that the biocompatibility should be there, but its ability to deliver the drug at the specific place in the body. Okay, so the drug delivery system is a site specific exercise which used to have the impact on certain specific receptors. So you have to have the polymeric material which have the tendency that it can deliver the drug at this specific point. Okay, so I'm going to close the pool question. The correct answer is the second option. The correct answer is the second option. Okay, so this is why we prefer to use this one. Similarly, if you look into some other question, which of the, so just wait. In medical field, we have the application where we require certain material for putting certain device or certain important uh, component in our body that's known to be an implant. Means the process is to implant something in the living system. Okay, for that we have to have certain materials we used to explore certain materials which require for the purpose of the application. So you have to have the application in that way. Okay. So dear students, the option, correct option is the first option. Okay. So this is all about the phosphagenes molecules and their applications. Thank you to all of you for this wonderful session. So we will have the discussion in the another lecture regarding the inorganic aspect of another molecule. Thank you to all of you.